You're listening to Grown and Growing with Sonia Hamlin. Welcome back to Get to Growing. Get to Growing is my mini episode where I talk about what's on my mind as it relates to growing and evolving. This mini episode may stem from a conversation I had on my podcast, or it may be something I'm going through personally, or it may be something I saw in pop culture. But in any case, I'm going to take a few minutes to share my perspective on it. The topic this week stems from something that I'm working on personally. And it is really that I want to ease up on being a realist, right? I see myself as a realist. I know this about myself, and I actually really like it about myself. I feel like it has served me very well in my life. And if you don't know what a realist is, I think you all may have a good idea. A realist is somebody who sees the world, and I'll also add in people, who sees the world and people as they are presented to them. And a realist will adapt to that. We do not, look at life as we think it should be or how it could be. We look at life as it is, and we adapt and we achieve anyway, right? We use that realism or that logical thought and that looking at the world as it is to our advantage. And that is how we live our life. I am someone who I feel like being a realist has benefited me in so many ways, right? It allowed me to make really good decisions in life. I feel decisions that are right for me. It allowed me to, be a dependable friend. And it allows me to, have real conversations with my family and friends and give them advice that is rooted in logic, right? Something that can be appreciated at times. It has made me do really well at work, right? Get you a realist on your team, right? Because they are dependable, they are unflappable, and they're able to logically look at a situation and problem solve from that perspective. And it can really, help on it when you're on a team. So I know you're wondering if being a realist is so great, why do I want to ease up on it? I do. I want to ease up on being a realist because I basically want to see how the other half lives. And by other half, I mean dreamers, right? Um, I am definitely someone who, thinks about life practically. What can I practically achieve? And dreaming, I'm going to be honest, is something that I don't do much lately. Somewhere along the lines of life, dreaming became difficult for me. And I don't want to confuse that with goal setting, right? Because I can goal set with the best of them and achieve with the best of them. But when it comes to dreaming, manifesting, and leaving room for the unbelievable, or better yet, the unconceivable to happen, I feel like somewhere along the way, my realist mind took over and didn't leave much space for that. And when I look back at my life, while I'm very proud of the things that I've done, I do look back and wonder if I set the bar too small, if my goals were too small. Yes, at the time they seemed very big and they seemed very attainable at the time. But when I'm looking back on it, could I have dreamed something bigger for myself? Going forward, I want to make room in my heart and in my mind for those big, scary dreams. And when you are dreaming big, scary dreams, you cannot let your logical mind come in and hijack that dream. And that's often what happens, right? With the realist, they will start dreaming, and then here comes logic. How's that going to happen? What skills do you have? What skills do you have to acquire? What are the steps? And we dissect that dream so much and we try to shape it into something that is achievable by our standards, right? By human standards. What is achievable for us? Okay, this is achievable. And when you step back from that dream, it has become a fraction of what it was. And that's what I want to stop doing for myself. When you dream big, scary dreams, you cannot get caught up in the how. The how is what takes a lot of people down. Hell, a lot of people don't even start because of the how. When you start thinking about how and you start thinking about what goes into it, some people don't start. They don't have, they don't ask for what they want because they're stuck in the how. I don't want the how to take down my dreams anymore. When I started this podcast, when I started the podcast Grown and Growing, I had to suspend a lot of how. I had to, not look at what I was doing with logic and steps and think through it, because if I did, I wouldn't have done it because there were so many things stacked against me. There was more logical reasons for me to not do it than to do it. And I just had one thing driving me towards doing it, and that was how happy it made me. And that's what I had to rely on. And often when you're dreaming big, scary dreams, yes, there are practical, pragmatic steps you can take to achieve those dreams. But for the most part, you're relying on faith. You're relying on luck. You're relying on being at the right place at the right time, being able to identify and seize opportunities. And a lot of it ends up being serendipity or God having grace, God placing you in the right place at the right time. Then that's what I want to spend more of my time, my mental, that's where I want to spend my time. I don't want to spend it thinking about the how of how things are going to happen. So what does this mean? What does easing up on being practical or being a realist mean? It means I'm going to give myself permission to dream bigger dreams that scare me, and I'm not going to let my logical mind hijack them. I'm always my goal or what I would like to be is childlike. I would like to be childlike in how I'm dreaming about my future. And no, being 46 years old does not make me too old to do this. If you've listened to a few of my podcasts, you will know that I never think you're too old to change something about yourself. The next thing I'm going to do is follow my heart, right? I'm going to be open and follow my heart more. I'm not going to get bogged down in the details. I'm not going to set strict goals. I'm going to be open to what life gives to me. I'm going to make smart decisions, but I'm also I'm not going to stress myself out about making the right decision. And the last thing I want to do is not put limits on myself. But what I mean by that is not only put limits on what I think I can achieve, I'm also not going to put limits on myself as it relates to where I'm going to be in the future. An example of this is people who talk about forever homes. How do I know if this is my forever home? I want to be open enough to know that, anything can happen in the future, and I want to be open to that. And I don't want the fact that I live in my forever home or what I've deemed my forever home be the thing that stops me from pursuing what I want. Basically, I want to see how the other half lives. Being a realist is tough nowadays because this world is insane and it's tough. I want to see how the dreamers are coping. How y'all coping over there? Because I'm about to come over here. I'm about to join you guys because being a realist today can be very tough on your mental. So, how do you identify? Do you identify as a realist or a dreamer? And if you identify as one of those, do you feel like you can benefit from that other side? I feel like I can. Let me know let me know in the comments, and also let me know if you have recommendations on books, videos, documentaries, authors, speakers, on manifestations, on becoming a dreamer, on opening up your mind and heart. Let me know what your recommendations are. I want to hear them. Thank you for listening, and I will see you next time.